Hello, everyone. So, uh, let me share one very interesting realization that I am having right now. Is that all kinds of happiness and pleasure, or anything that is pleasant, it's actually a reflection of a very satisfied and grateful soul, grateful and satisfied heart. And this gratitude, of having this life, basically, it just spills over and hits other people. And this is how happiness can be contagious, and it's a kind of satisfaction that is in the background, really, and might not be really visible to many people out there, but it's just something that flashes in your eyes, in your face. There is a different kind of energy, a different kind of glow, so to say, that radiates from being satisfied and being content. And this is really the best kind of foundation that one can give one's smaller ones or one's dependence. Though no one is directly dependent upon me right now in my life, but I have observed, and this experience, these realizations are mainly based upon my observations rather than personal experience, though to some extent I had certain kinds of personal experiences whereby I have firsthand seen that happiness is firstly, that happiness comes from within, from a place of deep satisfaction and gratitude that you have for all the little things in life, for life in general. And to whom? Ultimately to the Lord, to God, for creating us. But then again, God is a very vague term, I should say, because when I say God, does it refer to the energy, or does it refer to a person, or what? So therefore, we always need a personal connection with Lord, with God. And that personal connection can be done only by a person who actually knows God. And when you're connected to a person who knows God, then you also can know God. And that is a tremendous source of inspiration. And I'll tell you that it is also endless, because God is endless. And God is unlimited. So also your happiness and your satisfaction and your contentment, you don't need to fear that it will disappear. Just like any other contentment that you temporarily have on this planet. It's not like those temporary, flickering, stages or phases of joy. And it's not just a temporary deal, it's permanent, unlimited deal. So human beings always have to have this attraction for unlimited things, unlimited data, unlimited, anything unlimited you give them, and they will latch onto it, onto the opportunity. But right now, what I'm speaking about is that unlimited contentment and satisfaction. And won't you all want that? I'm sure that everyone wants it. But it's difficult when you are in search of it directly on your own. You need to be connected to a person who actually knows God. And that person is again in turn connected to someone who again is in connection with someone again who is in connection with someone. So this is the tradition of disciplic succession that goes on and on, that passes on from generation to generation. In this way, we are connected not by person but by sound. I'm connected to a person who is connected to a person who is connected to a person who knows God. And we are connected ultimately, not by person, but by sound. And sound, I tell you, is one of the most relevant and significant ways to connect. As I'm connecting to you right now with sound. Though the video is there, but without sound, nothing would really work. Information is carried by sound. And so also the information of the ultimate is carried by sound. And that sound reaches from the unreachable place, and it ultimately becomes reachable to us mainly due to this wonderful process and wonderful tradition of disciplic succession. And it becomes really wonderful and interesting. But it really works because it's really working with you right now, because I'm talking to you and some kind of changes are already happening. Because if the information is really passing on to you through your ears and your brain is already processing it, then some things will come up and you will already begin to feel certain things in your heart. Emotionally you would begin to feel. So this happens in an instant. The connection happens in an instant. But the source for that sound, that is the real difficult process, and everyone is not even eligible enough to receive the sound. So in our tradition it is called the mantra, or even actually in general it is known as Sabda Brahma. God has presented himself in the form of sound in front of us. So it's really intriguing, interesting, and mysterious at the same time. We have got a lot to uncover. Though we know as it is, because we have taken it with faith that the sound is God himself. But to realize it, it's complete mystery. And this life is actually the process of uncovering and realizing that the sound that we have received is actually God himself. And that's the most interesting process. And in the way to realizing this, we slowly and gradually, taste the nectar. And it's not that we have to wait till we know God to really experience the nectar. We can, along the way itself, we can enjoy this nectarian ride that will swim in the mellows of ecstasy. Certainly, everyone should experience this in one's lifetime. Otherwise, what is the use of this human form of life, which is such an evolved consciousness, which has an evolved brain? Millions and billions and trillions of fibers of neurons that are triggering in the brain right now, with bombarded with different sensations, electric impulses, and the story, with different hormones being secreted. It's kind of crashing the brain right now with different kinds of bombardment of stimulus that has really hijacked the state of the brain, and that should not be the case. We should learn to actually be in a balanced way, not to be affected by this bombardment, because bombardment we are going to receive certainly, and if we are distracted in such an environment, then we are going to be tremendously bombarded, believe me. And there is no way to escape really. The only escape is replace this kind of bombardment with some kind of higher bombardment, and that's the sound I'm talking about. And this sound, you will not receive this sound through just checking on Google or something. You will need to be connected on a personal level to the person who knows the sound. That is the process of Diksha in our tradition. So Siksha and Diksha. So general information is Siksha. The information that I'm giving right now is Siksha. And to attain Diksha, you need to be connected to a person personally, and who is obviously the Guru. And you would connect to the disciplic succession. Ultimately, that will lead from 100 to 100, thousands and thousands of generations back into the past, where ultimately there is God. And you don't need to go into the past, or you don't need to go into the future. You just need to be right here, receiving the sound and realizing, peeling its covers and realizing. And the process of realizing itself is satisfying fully, not even like tiny teeny bits of realizations and tiny teeny bits of ecstasy, not like that. Full ecstasy in each moment. That's what you'll experience. And I hope everyone is blessed with this opportunity to know a person in this lifetime itself who can, who can bless you with such a wonderful process of sound, Sabda Brahma, and realizing God through sound, by mantra, by chanting of God's names. Hari Bol.